So I don't know how to introduce anything. So we're just gonna start. All right.
Yeah, cool,
So
cool. You need some help or something? Yeah, I've been
that's
doing it
cool.
for over 15 years.
Nice, nice, nice. So what's your podcast called again?
Whatever talk.
Whatever talk. Whatever talk.
Yeah,
Okay,
whatever
okay.
talk.
I rock with it.
Spelled
I rock with
spelled the way it's pronounced.
it. Okay, okay. And basically, like
It's
your
a
topics are like just whatever we want to
yeah,
express or whatever we want to talk
yeah,
about and all that. So I mean,
yep, absolutely whatever. Like I got my bullet points of the thoughts of the things that I want to
nice,
talk about, and like I
nice.
said, it's just my thoughts. It really is. And if you got your thoughts on
Yeah,
whatever it is that you want to talk about, I'm always down for it. But it's not an interview because I don't care what's going on in your kitchen. I don't I don't care
fact,
about that, Jack. But I'm down to talk about what's going on in your kitchen if you bring it up.
fact, 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 fact. I definitely agree though. Definitely agree. But you did comment on like my post saying like I want somebody to convince me that God exists. So what is your belief system and how do you carry yourself with your belief system?
My belief system is I do not believe in my own imagination to that degree, and
Uh,
that's how I look at it. Uh, I believe I have thoughts of. It's actually the episode that's out now on my show. Um, thoughts of. Oh no, my bad. It's not that's out. It's been out. But anywho, thoughts of the human psyche is in a constant state of delusion, and part of that delusion, part of that is because we have a belief system, period. The fact that we have a belief system is us living a delusion.
okay, okay. So do you think us knowing certain stuff would be more beneficial? Like so we shouldn't base our life off of a belief?
Uh, it's only to a certainty context. Like we
Mhm.
know a whole bunch of stuff, but for some reason we take what we know as certainty, and
Right.
that's part of, to me, that's what's adding to the delusion
Mhm.
because we're only going off he say she say. Like
Right.
all of our, like majority of our teachings is he say she say.
Right.
And when we doing, and if we choose to do what we call our self-teaching, which is research, we call it. We're researching other people's research on top of other people's research who's probably done the research. I mean, who probably done the experiment, and we taking their word for it and adding it to our own belief system. That right there is the reason. Just because we've read a bunch of text or literature and it sounds good,
Mhm.
it's we're just going to take it and just, hey, yeah, I believe that now. And
Right.
that's part of why I think that the human psyche is constantly in a state of delusion.
Okay. Okay. So don't you think there's certain stuff in our belief, like certain stuff that people teach, we can apply that to our own life and make sense based off of our surroundings?
Yeah, I mean that's what we've been doing. That's
Yeah.
how, I mean, yeah, that's how life is lived. Period. Like, but for the most part, adding to that, yeah, we can. But how many of us are one actually doing the experiment in some various form, and how many of us is actually taking the time out to think about what it is that we believe in and why do we choose to believe in it?
Okay.
If
Okay.
we're not doing that on an extremely often basis, or at least that's what I think, that we're not doing that on an extremely often basis, but yet here we are still believing stuff.
Mm,
And I think the word believe is just a glorified word for think, because just
right,
because you
right.
believe in it, that don't make it is what it is. It's just you believing in it.
So I have to give a shout out to my like one of my favorite people, like the Quilla. So I just like, hey, Miss Co-host, how you doing? So I'm
How
talking
you
to
doing? It is Shakila, but I
Tequila.
accept
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I accept
See,
that.
huh? I'm
I
sorry.
said
I'm
I will
sorry. I'm
accept
sorry.
that. You're good.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So like we're talking about
No
like
doubt.
belief systems and everything and how we same thing that we were talking about yesterday, basically. So
Hmm.
yeah. So I guess this is the part two, and I'm trying to add on new people. So I
Yes.
mean, like yeah. So the way he's speaking is on point too. I agree with like a lot of stuff that he's saying, basically. But my question is, what's something that you believe in that's actually beneficial to you? Can you name one thing that's beneficial to both of you guys that y'all just believe in? Y'all don't know if it's true or not, but y'all just like it brought positivity in your life, basically.
You said we don't know if it's true or not, but we just believe in it.
Yeah, and it brought positivity based off of that one belief. Can you give me one specific thing that y'all just believe in, not knowing, but just believe in that brought positivity and brought like improvement into your life?
Having hope, you
Having
know,
hope.
is having hope for the future. That's something that you may be praying for. Having faith for things that you cannot see.
Okay. Okay.
So
Well,
yeah.
well, belief, hope, and faith is kind of the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
It would be
They're
in the same.
absolutely the same thing to
Yeah,
it
me.
is.
yeah. So I would say something that I believe in. I believe that black people are superior. Like so, and the way I carry myself, like I embrace black people to a point where it improved in my life. Basically, I stopped believing in Jesus. I stopped believing in God, and that improved my life too. I'm not sure if God actually exists, but I know when I started believing in myself, I started working on myself a lot more instead of believing in the outside being. So that's what I mean by like something that you believe in, not knowing, but that it improves your life or whatever for the good.
So that's what I'm saying, like having hope for something that I don't have right now. But
Mm,
it keeps me going and pushing because I believe that it's gonna happen. It may haven't happened yet. I can't I mean it's just like saying like, okay, I got hope on God that I haven't seen, but I can't say I don't believe it because I do believe, so that's why I didn't go that direction. Because you said
okay.
something that you don't know is true, but I know it's true. So I may, can't
But
see them
how
physically.
but how do
Right.
you know that's the part of I think you came in on that part, but the no, that's the primary delusion that I think about is the word no. We'll say that we know, and we'll say that we know that and know this, but we have absolutely no certainty on knowing. We could just we just lean towards that specific thing because it sounds good.
So one thing, but once you have that revelation, once it comes to pass, and nothing else have done that, nothing like it could have been nothing that helped like like I'm serious. It's some things that have happened that have been done. And I know I couldn't do it on my own. I know my mama didn't do it. I know my daddy didn't do it. I know my sister didn't do it. I know my brother didn't do it. I know my friend didn't do it. Some things that you can't count on nobody. And so when I have things that come to pass, and I know probably the only person I spoke with about it was God, you know, that's based on my belief. I can
Yeah,
feel
I
it.
mean,
I
yeah, I
can feel it.
mean, see, and that's your belief. Your
Yeah.
belief is the feeling it gives you, not
Yeah.
the actual thing of it. And 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 yeah, that's like the best way I can come off of it. It's like you. before I guess I can go and say before I even continue with what I was about to express is you said you spoke to God and you for one I think that's just what we're choosing to give it to or just give it to because of what we were told about the entity growing up. And that's part of what I said that I don't think people actually sit down and think about their beliefs and why they believe in them to begin with. I think we're just doing it just because it brings us comfort to want to believe in it more so. Or really, I think we fear not believing in it more so than anything on of any reason of why we choosing to believe in it. It's the fear of not believing in it more so. But when you say you talk to God, are you actually hearing a voice talk back?
He talks in different ways. I don't have to hear it.
Oh my
No, I'm
goodness.
saying you just asked me a question, right? You asked me a question, right? So I'm answering.
Yeah,
He talks
but
to you in
you
many ways. It's deaf people out here, right? They can talk to you in many ways, not just words.
but that's what
Huh?
talk is. That's what
Sign
talk
language, all
is.
types. God can talk
No,
to me in
sign
normal.
language is not talking though. Sign language is communicating,
It's
but
still
talking is verbal.
so he
So
can't
that's what I'm
communicate with
asking.
me, talking, communicate. He
But I
can't
but I
communicate
don't I
with me.
don't I'm not asking about any other way of communicating. I'm asking because those other ways are feelings to me. Is what you said earlier. It's what I feel. It's what I feel. Those are
So an
feelings.
animal can't talk, but you know when
but
they
the
real.
que- but the
But
question
but
is,
uh,
you
but
asked, like, did you ask how do she communicate with
no. I asked
He
when
said,
she does talk to God.
when she does talk
Is
to
a
God, and does he
is
respond?
yeah, is she hearing another voice respond back to her? Not the many different ways of communicating
you
to you.
can,
Are you
but
hearing? No, I'm not saying you can't. That's what we got sign language. Sign language is a form of communicating. Texting is a form of communicating. Are you hearing another voice
sometimes I do
actually talk
hear.
to? Okay,
Sometimes
boom.
I do hear.
Okay,
So you want me
boom.
to be honest?
Sometimes.
Sometimes I do hear. It's not out loud. It's not out loud. It's a silent
O-
voice that I hear. You can't tell me
Okay.
what I don't hear.
I see, but first of all, calm down from the defense because I'm not saying
No,
nothing
it's
about
just a
that.
discussion. It's just a discussion. Don't worry about it. Don't
Yeah,
worry
yeah,
about
yeah, yeah.
it.
We,
Yeah,
I
I
yeah,
ain't,
feel
I'm
like
not
yeah.
trying.
we're all calm at this moment. So I mean,
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah,
just,
yeah. I'm just
yeah.
saying. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to tell you what you're hearing. I'm just asking, are you hearing another voice talk to you? You said,
Yes.
yeah,
Sometimes
sometimes.
I do.
Now
It's
another
not every
question.
time that I may hear a voice.
Oh,
You want to be
okay. I'm
specific.
only caring about the voice. I'm only caring about the voice. But
Oh, okay,
okay,
well, that's what you care about. That's fine.
okay, cool. You said sometimes. Now adding to that question, that voice you hear sometimes, does it sound like you, or is it a completely different voice?
It doesn't sound like me.
Okay. I mean, we only can choose to believe or not. I'm choosing to believe that you're nuts, but it's cool.
Well, I'll tell you this though. I have a question, brother.
Go ahead.
Uh-huh.
Like, do you do you communicate with other people in other ways where you can understand them, not based off of like talking, but just in other symbols or whatever the situation is?
You saying other symbols? Can I
Like,
talk
yeah,
to you
like
in other
say
symbols?
say like not just speaking wise. Did anybody communicate with you in other type of ways, basically like symbols or dreams or energy and everything?
You
'Cause-
saying do people?
no, like, I'm saying in general, like if you stay with me, right?
Yeah.
Ask for signs and ask for certain reasons to believe in something. And I get symbols based off of dreams and like say like numbers and all that type of stuff.
Hmm.
Do do you guys believe in that? Because there's other ways you can communicate besides hearing voices and like talking to people.
I'm saying you saying as far as people, I never really communicated like that with people. I never been on that level with people to communicate that way. I may have a feeling or something that I feel or remembrance come to me, or what this person may have would say, like you say, like a past, someone, a loved one that passed away, but you already know what they'll be done said, or the person really ain't even got to pass away. You just knowing at that moment you feel it. But as far
Mm.
as communicating with symbols, I'm not saying you can't. I do believe that it's possible. That's possible. I'm just saying I haven't.
Because I will tell you this. I remember like we was having a conversation yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying like remember when I told you that like Jesus said, Eli, Eli, let us have left me, whatever. Please God, why have you forsaken me? So the reason why I understood what that was is because I had a dream. Like I had like a weird dream. I didn't understand Hebrew or any of that type of language back in the day, basically. But in that dream, Jesus said that on the cross. Like saying, Eli, Eli, let us have left me. I never heard this ever in my life.
Say it again. Say what you said. You said it too fast. Say it again.
Okay, so like in my dream, Jesus said, why have you forsaken me? But it said it in
Okay.
another language. So I
Yeah.
looked it up. So when they said it, it was saying the same exact thing that said in the Bible. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I have never heard that language. I've never like understood what that meant, basically. But in that dream, while like Jesus was on the cross, like he got burned up. And next thing you know, there was a tribe of Indians like coming towards me with wolves, saying, "Don't worry, you're safe now." So that made that made me that made me realize like, yo, what is God and what is Jesus or whatever. Maybe somebody was telling me that this wasn't my God. Maybe they was telling me that God was somebody that was savage or something like that. Because the people that was actually protecting me
Mm-hmm.
was the Native Americans, which is a part of my nationality, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I mean by communication, basically. Like it don't have to be somebody just saying, "Hey, yo, look, you gotta do this, you gotta do that." Maybe somebody are giving you signs in other ways. Maybe somebody is telling you certain stuff within your dreams or whatever, within like certain situations, basically. So now I'm asking Donnie. I'm
Yeah,
asking Donnie or whatever. Have you ever had an experience where you dealt with somebody and they gave you signs and no words?
I mean, outside of talking to a sign language person, a deaf person,
So you never had a
I
dream?
mean, we all have dreams. I mean, I don't remember mostly none of my dreams for the most part, but I, I think first of all, I think taking time out your life to
Mm.
believe in what we call God or gods is what the heck? It's a waste of life to me, because for one, I feel like religion instills self-hate into the human psyche, and part of that self-hate is hating or not believing that you are worthy to even exist. And what I mean by even exist is that you I think imagination is your everything, like everything to do with your whole livelihood, which is part of the belief system as well, imagination. Because of, again, we don't know this stuff to the certainty degree. We're just choosing to
Okay.
want to believe in it. And then these signs come about. We're we're choosing to want to view signs versus actual tangibleness, actual reality. Like a sign is, to me that's asking. Let's just say God is an actual thing. To me, that's asking to be brainwashed.
So, question: you don't believe it's a spiritual realm, period? You just believe it's only humans? Like, I'm just trying to figure it out.
I don't consider myself spiritual nor religion. Thinking about it logically, there would probably have to be some type of creator, some type, not giving that person the title of God, and not giving this entity, the title of supreme neither. But I'm only thinking about that because we as humans have the power of creation through this ritual that we call sex. So
So
I
we
if
agree.
we
created
can,
the sky.
Huh?
huh?
Did we create the sky?
Probably.
The Earth created
I
the
mean,
sky. The
but
planet,
if
like
you, but
everything that's hear me out. Everything that's in the planet Earth was created by the planet Earth. So like the sky created the sky was created by the planet Earth and everything. Like and the planet Earth was created by the sun. So whatever is in the solar system
So
was
who was the sun
created.
created by?
Was
Like,
that
where you get? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was just asking where you get that information from.
the sun was created the Earth?
Yeah, I mean, all of that information, like all of that, sounds like you know that. That's what I'm coming
I
from.
mean, I mean,
You
well,
got it.
we're a part of the
You
solar
read
system.
that. You read that, didn't you?
Well, yeah, that's what happened.
I see. Then that's part of what I'm
All
trying to
right,
convey.
now I gotta figure out where like what you know. Like what do you
And
know that you're applying to your life right now? Because
I kn- oh, I'm sorry.
we all know that Earth is a part of the solar system. And we all know if the sun disappears, what's gonna happen to us? If the Earth wasn't a part of the solar system and the sun disappeared or whatever, and we're still here, that may be a point that you have. But we all know if the sun is gone, we're gone.
I know that you got that from researching other people's research. And and I'm not even certain about me knowing that. And that's what I'm trying to convey.
So
I
are you a part of this
know,
earth?
am I a part of
So
what?
are you a part of this earth?
Am I a part of this earth? I guess I'm a part of what we call in reality. Because
Are you a part of this earth?
am I a part of this earth? Do you mean am I a earthling or am I actual earth?
Are you a part of this earth? As in, like, are you
I mean,
did you come from this
I'm
earth?
trying to get
Did you come from this
specific
earth?
of the
Yeah, that's
question
what I'm saying. Did
because
you come from
being a
this earth?
part of the earth will have to say that God is also a part of the earth, even though the book claims that he's not.
I
But he
don't
will
believe
have to
so.
be a part of the earth too, because he's part of every creation that he's
Well, if
supposedly
God,
creating.
see, I don't even believe in God, but I think that's kind of false because if God created the universe and God is everything, you don't have to worry about God being part of the earth because
That's what I
God
mean.
created everything. I'm
Yeah, that's what
saying
I'm trying to convey.
you, you
Me,
personally didn't, you personally didn't create everything. You got brought by your mother, right? You talked about the creation of your mother created you, your father created you, and I
okay.
agree with you, 100%. Me and my co-host, was talking about that the other day. We pretty much were created by our mothers and our grandmothers and our great grandmothers.
Yeah,
But I'm
we're
saying,
man-made.
okay, okay, I feel you, I feel you,
We are, all three of us are
I feel you,
man-made.
I feel you. But when we talk about God, right? We're talking about
Uh,
something that is universal. We're talking about something that created the stars and planets and everything. But I'm talking about you being a part of this earth. That doesn't mean
I
that
am,
God is a part of the earth. That means you came from this earth. That means you can't
I
go
mean,
to any other planets. That means you can't go outside this solar system.
oh, no,
That's
see, that sounds ludicrous
I
because
know.
because going off what you're saying now, I mean, what you said earlier, that means you can't go to no other planet. That means you can't go. I mean, how are you believing in a solar system then if we can't go to these places?
Well, it's called gravity. If we jump up, whatever, we're gonna go right down back down to this earth.
I mean,
Like I mean,
so that sounds
everything
like you
comes
saying
from
we
this
could
earth.
jump off the earth. Can we jump off the earth? That's what you're saying? 'Cause that's what it
I
sounds
mean,
like.
I want
But
you to
I'm
try
just saying,
try
I
it
mean,
out.
I'm just saying, going off what you're saying, I think that I'm a part of what we call reality. In reality, Earth is part of that or
So I mean, you're
actuality,
upon this
whatever
earth.
you want to call it. So I guess I'm a part of the Earth if you want to
Yeah,
call it that. I mean, I guess so. But
that's
as
it.
far as believing in this stuff to the degree that One would die for it, one will kill for it, one will cause harm for it. Also, going off the origin of this, one is ready to genocide for it. And it's all because the God said so. So
But personally,
that's
I
what
don't
I'm.
think. But personally, I don't think the average people that go to church is gonna kill other people for believing in something.
But they don't believe in God. Then you can't believe in God if you don't do that jump. 'Cause that's part of the religion. That's part of doing that. If God was to tell you to do that, John, you better do it, or you're gonna end up like everybody else in the book who didn't do it.
You know what's funny though? Like I agree with 50% of what you're saying. I'm not saying that you're incorrect about everything. All I'm saying, because like even I was telling I don't even know if I was talking to my co-host or like somebody else. I was saying if you believe in everything in the Bible, you have to believe in slavery, you have to believe in genocide, you have to believe in incest, you have to believe in all this other type of stuff. So I do agree with what you're saying, some of the stuff. But I'm just saying the average person on like in the United States today, they're not killing people, they're not focused on people, they're just going to church and they're worshiping God. That's about it.
Yeah,
It's not
and
because
the
it's
average
not the
person
fact
don't
that they're
really
trying to
believe
kill
either.
anybody if they don't believe in certain stuff. They're just trying to stay in their own lane. They're just trying to like go based off of their own worship.
The average person not don't really believe either. They're just saying that they believe because that's what the masses say. Cause I get, cause because they won't do any of those things that I've just stated. Because again, you will have to do those things if you claim that you believe in God. Women, I don't understand why any woman believes in any religion, let alone Christianity, because it really doesn't like the existence of women. And so, I mean, in order for you to believe in God or any religion, you cannot. You're signing the papers or your soul away to not be yourself. You can't be yourself in any religion. You can't be yourself believing in God. You have to believe in what the religion tells you, or else you're a pseudo believer.
Well, I tell people this. Like if we believe in Jesus, right? I think we need to walk where Jesus walked. I believe we need to study what Jesus studied. I believe we need to study what the Bible study, as in like what you're saying, chopping off heads. Like we have to go to every aspect of what the Bible was doing. So like that's why I'm saying you're not wrong with some of the stuff that you're saying, but that doesn't mean that they don't believe in a God. They're just not walking in the same footsteps as God. I believe in my mom, right?
I'm not
But my
saying
mom
that. I'm not saying
but
that
mom,
either.
hear me out. Hear me out. I believe in my mom. I believe my mom can do great, but I'm not gonna walk in the same footsteps as my mom because my mom was a savage. So just because just because other people did certain stuff in the Bible doesn't mean you can't believe in the same God just because they don't do the same exact thing.
No, 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 no. That's not what I'm saying either. Because hey, I cannot care less of who or what you believe in outside of me not caring already. As long as you hurting only you and your beliefs, you okay in my book. So I'm not saying that you can't not believe in it. I'm just saying you can't believe in it wholeheartedly like one would claim they do.
But you can't. You
Wholehearted
don't have
whole
to follow the footsteps, though. You can definitely
no
believe in somebody and not follow the footsteps in that situation. Basically, that doesn't mean you
I
have to.
mean
You can believe in
yeah,
somebody. You can have hope and you have faith in somebody, but you don't have to kill somebody just because you believe in that one person. You don't have to do that.
absolutely. Absolutely. But again, unless that God is telling you, yes, you do. First of all, I think we're asking the whole question wrong to begin with. Do you believe in God? Like you just stated. Yeah, I believe in you. I believe in your mom as well. I believe in what's your name? Divine Time with Coach Quila. I
Amazing
believe.
lady. I love that lady. I love it.
Yeah, I
I keep
believe
getting her
in
name
her.
wrong, but I mean, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry about that. I'm not trying to, but yeah, I believe in her as well. But to believe that she would be my savior, no. I, I mean that's completely different. So I think that we're asking the question wrong. I think the question is should be asked: do you believe in the existence of God? But and that's a completely different sentence or statement. So I don't believe in the existence of God, and I don't think you have to follow the footsteps of others unless the God that you say you believe in tells you to. Moses questioned God multiple times, and he got in trouble each time. God, he actually persuaded God to change his mind about something, and he got in trouble for it. He took the punishment or a variation of a punishment for that,
What was
basically
that?
questioning God.
What he questioned him? Like, can you pinpoint what?
Those multiple times where those people from Egypt were they're on their last leg, they hungry, they building bulls, they're building other gods, they're basically just doing what they want to do, and God was about to kill them all. That's pretty much God's thing in the book in the Bible, killing.
Yeah,
But
he killed
and
2.8 billion people. That's crazy, ain't it? 2.8
that's
billion.
his that's his thing. Tamper with free will to make it look justifiable. But Moses taught God out of killing these people multiple times, and he took the burden or a variation of what they were going to get. I ain't gonna say what they were going to get, but of a punishment for those for questioning God. The person,
I got,
the person. Oh, I'm sorry. Go
no,
ahead.
I got a question. I hear y'all's being very specific on how many people that God killed. Did you? What about how many people he saved? Do you know the number on that?
There's always a believer.
But
Uh,
we
Nah,
only gonna
let's.
we only
I'll
I
go
gonna
mean,
with
talk
this
about
but
number.
something negative
but
that you
I
can
have to
call
say something with
negative.
that.
But
I
we
do
ain't
have to
I'll
gonna
say
go.
something.
speak about nothing
I definitely have
positive.
to say something with that. I
No, we
definitely have to say
can,
something
but
with
Okay.
I have an answer. No, I have an answer.
Okay.
God saved, along with those people he's constantly still killing today, since you want to choose to believe in him. He
Yeah.
saved, he saved, how many people is it on the planet? Let's just go with whatever statistics say 8 billion plus people. God saved 8 billion plus people, all because he wanted to kill his own son to do so. So he saved a
and
lot
we
according to
also
where you want to go that if you want to go that route. So he saved
Well,
8 billion.
wasn't that what he was born for? It was already
Oh
supposed to
my goodness.
happen.
God
So
was
it's not a secret that it's gonna happen. Even they said Jesus knew, right? Like
okay,
he knew,
so
even when they was trying to save him, he knew it had to happen. It had to go through. So it was
but
all planned
that
out.
makes no sense though for
A
anybody to
lot of
have to
stuff don't make
die.
sense. A lot of
No,
things.
but see, and that's the
but
issue.
also
A lot of
the
things
like
don't make sense, but you're still choosing to believe in it
but
to the
the
to the
add on to that though
certainty of certainty.
We
that
are living on an earth that really don't make sense. A lot of stuff don't make sense on this earth, but we living here.
No, no, no. A lot of
we
stuff
can
on
Yes,
earth
investigate
makes.
yes,
like stuff.
yes.
We can
I
like
think
a
a
lot of stuff that
whole
don't make sense.
heap
Hear me
of
out, hear
earth
me out, hear me
makes
out, hear me out.
sense. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
A lot of stuff that don't make sense, we can still investigate. We can look for answers. We can look for certain ways to like understand the unknown basically. We just don't want to. We just want to go set we just want to set our base off of belief. And we just fine with that base. So like I think the stuff that like that don't make any sense, they do have answers, but we just don't want to look for it. This is why we get stuck into religion. This is why we get stuck into believing in the God and all that. That's why I was asking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that's why I want
We
to
choose to
like
believe in
study
signs.
that like that's why I want to study like stuff like voodoo and no disrespect. Like I want to study stuff like voodoo, like and Reiki and all this other type of stuff because I want to understand what everybody focus on. because it's not just one answer. There's a bunch of answers, but we don't want to stick to like understanding everything. We just want to stick to that one situation. So if it don't make sense, whatever, it's because we're
So,
not looking.
question: do you believe you have to do everything to try it to see? That's just like doing drugs. You gotta try it to see know if it's bad. No, I'm just saying for real. You gotta try it. You gotta try
I
everything.
agree.
Oh
I
my
So
agree.
then you might
But
as
goodness.
this
well try
Um,
no,
drugs.
no,
to a
I agree.
degree, yes, you do have to
But
try
I agree.
everything. To a
No,
degree, yes.
I do agree. But this is why like a lot of people there's a lot of people that do crack. There's a lot of people that do crack. But there's a lot of functioning crackheads. There's people that just snorting up and then going to work and just being like having fun and doing whatever they got to do.
That's
But
a
there's
fact.
also people that live their life based off of cocaine and crack, whatever, and they're leaning on the side and they're going crazy basically. So it comes to a point where some people use cocaine and crack, whatever, and functioning well, and there's some people that's functioning bad. So it's gonna come to a point where we like I don't want to do it. That's not my type of thing. But there is a way you can actually use it and then live your life instead of making that become your life.
You know, cocaine was a pharmaceutical drug.
It was. It was.
So
They actually use a piece. They actually use a part of it for like the ADHD the pills for the ADHD basically Ritalin and like all this other type of stuff.
and
So yeah, they
cocaine is
use it
not
to but
considered, it's not considered what weed is considered to be. What they call stage one, which is supposed to be the most bads of all drugs. But yet weed is up there with all of that. I mean, that's a sidebar. But yeah,
I,
your questions, your questions. I mean, I dig them. I
I
love
like the
questions.
question. I like it. Like
But
it's
it's still not saying anything to
What's
me. It's
okay? So yeah, I hear y'all saying like a crackhead or a pothead can still function. I never
but
denied that. We had anybody.
question:
It's definitely. Uh, Go ahead. It's
why
a
do you
mindset thing.
believe? Why do you believe? Like, not the fact that you do believe. Why
Why
do
do I
you
believe
believe?
what?
Yes.
Why do I
Why do
believe?
you? Why do you believe the existence of God?
Why do I believe the existence of
And why
God?
do you choose to
I,
believe in Him? On top
I
of that,
definitely choose to believe there is existence of a God that's not of this world. To be honest, because I've been on crazy.
you tap dancing
You asked
now.
me a question, right? I'm answering.
No,
You
you
gotta let
said
me
you
finish
believe
answering
that.
my
yeah.
question.
You said, I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm sorry.
let
I'm
it go on.
sorry.
Let it go on.
I'm
It's,
I
sorry. I'm
chose.
sorry.
I definitely chose to believe. When I can't believe nobody else or trust nobody else on this earth, I definitely pray something out there exists other than human. And I'm gonna be real with you. And that's my belief. I can't say what your belief is. You know what I'm saying? But I know in my heart because the things that I've gone through and I've experienced, I experienced with him for myself, not from with my mama, not from with my dad, not from with church. I don't even go to church. And when people even mention religion, I don't call myself in no religion because I'm not in no religion. I don't take parts in religion. I get to know God for myself. Just like you want to learn yourself, whatever, I take and I want to know him for myself. So I don't sit there in the church building like I used to because that's not where I feel like I really found him at. I didn't find him. I found him within me and to experience and like you said, you don't believe in research, but I believe in research at the same time. That's my belief. Like we couldn't even finish school without research. Like I'm just saying, like there's a lot of things that we wouldn't know if we didn't
But you
search.
put in word, yeah, but you put in words in my mouth. I didn't say I don't believe in research.
Oh,
Only thing I said I didn't believe in is the existence of God. That's the
but
only thing I
you
said I don't believe in. I said I have my questions and my thoughts about research because everything I'm talking about is 100% research experiences. That's good. Everything that we're talking about is 100% research and experiences. Notice that
but
we're not saying experiments. We're
here's
saying
the thing.
experiences. Experiences are feelings.
But even when
That's
you
what experiences are.
but even when I brought up like our research about the sun and the stars and actually like since we are a part of the earth or whatever, like that would be somewhat common sense that we're a part of this earth. So like of course you're gonna be but when I brought that up and you asked me where did I get it from, a book, I'm like, yeah, I read. You start laughing. So I mean, it comes to a point where like when like you say you don't believe in research. I kind of don't believe that because you was so like somewhat making fun of the research that somebody else had just because you don't believe it. So what makes your research more
No, I'm
prevalent
not
now?
making fun of research. Okay, okay.
And it's funny because
Again, I'm not
I
making.
don't,
Well, we're all making
yeah,
fun. I like the
yeah.
term making fun because we're going off terminology now. I'm not
Right,
making
right,
fun of
right.
it in the sense of how we the terminology making fun. But yes, I'm laughing at it because for one, I'm thinking about what it is that I'm researching. I'm not just reading words and a bunch of more words and saying, okay, part of my belief system now. I'm thinking about what it is that I'm reading and doing more reading, conversing, reading, thinking. Like I think so much. Like I'm
So do we.
constantly thinking all the
So
time
do we.
about stuff. And I'm conversing about it. So I'm not making fun of it because I don't believe in it. A lot of it, like all of it, is interesting to me. Like I said before, I don't consider myself a God.
Okay, freezing up.
I have a someone spoke on Facebook because I'm on my other phone. Can you
Uh,
hear me though?
well, well, I know he froze up, so I'm not sure. Yeah, you freezing up, brother.
Someone made a comment about God. If he when he available, I can speak on it.
Uh, yeah, I like to hit. But yeah, what's so I'm not sure if he's still like I'm not sure if he know that he froze up, but like he might be still talking. I don't want to miss
Yeah.
anything. But well yeah, while he's doing that, like what would be the like what was the
Oh, there.
Waving.
I don't know what happened.
that's all good.
I
That's
blacked
all.
out.
Yeah, we probably missed out on some of the stuff that you were saying though, but like Quila was
Yeah,
my co
I'm
was
on
about to talk
live
about the
on
thing.
Facebook, and
Yeah.
someone mentioned, about God, and they say your connection with God is self love and then love for others. That's they believe in how
Right.
how like God works.
Oh,
So
you're locked now.
yeah, I'm on live on my other phone, and
Okay.
they was talking about their connection with God is self love and then love for others.
And
So
here's why. And here's why.
All right.
Yeah, I look at my co-host, right? I look at my co-host as like somebody that do carry herself in a godly manner. The reason
yeah,
why is because she carry like she's a vegan and everything. I'm not sure how you feel about veganism, but she also like she also work where like she also work
A
on her body, whatever. She's
godly
also very kind.
manner.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. You might not want to agree with it, but when she brought up the whole self care and all that, that actually makes a lot of sense. Because I think the God is within you, or whatever. So you have to take care of yourself like you're a godly person. So if
yeah,
anything, like you would have to eat foods, whatever that's beneficial to your livelihood. So
yes.
I do agree with the whole like I believe God is within me. So I mean, I personally think that. And if you and say you right, do you believe that you're a God? If you if you have to if you have to sum up God and all that, you're living your life. Would you believe that you're God?
Nope.
Would I
I'll
believe?
believe that I. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, now you go ahead. I didn't know we was
I
speaking
go-
of.
Nope. Nope. I don't believe that I'm God. I believe that what we consider a God tier level, probably. I believe that more so than actual God. We have no individuality. How are we preaching individuality, but yet we're all the same God? That don't make no sense to me.
You
Like
said
we're
we are
not
the same
individual like that.
God.
No, if we think that we are God, then essentially we believe that we all are one. So if we believe that, then there's no individuality then. We're all
Okay,
believing that we're all the same thing, but yet here we are clearly different.
but
And
it's
yes,
many gods, like they say. I know it's one main God, but even the Bible will tell you that there are many gods. You all are gods. Everybody
it's
Right.
probably
many
don't use their
guys.
godly
It's
gift
many guys.
But
Yeah, I
as
believe it's
far
many
as
gods.
the
I,
big
Right.
God, the main God, you don't really supposed to folks make it seem like, oh, you just bigger than everybody. That's not, no, that's not, we none of us are bigger than the next person. So that's why I
yeah,
don't
we
believe we just
are.
supposed to sit there and call ourselves God, because we boot, like with our egos and stuff, like we think we're too much then. So that's when it comes into play, and I believe a lot of people like, you shouldn't call yourself a God, this and that, because some people take it to the next level, next extreme, like
See,
they're bigger than everybody, and
so, but we're
that's
not
not
going
really
off
true.
some people though. We're going off you and what you believe in, what the host believe in. We're not going off what some people say because Jesus didn't stop Jesusing because people didn't believe in him. So why are we worrying about what other people think? Especially if you're worrying about we gonna get killed and murdered over it, because why worry about that as well? Because I absolutely think that you should not have any form of whatever fear is a part of your being if you believe in God.
So you saying you only was asking me my opinion, I couldn't speak about when you mentioned about the gods and God, but you was talking about there are many gods. I
You
mean,
brought
everybody
up this many
God, so that's
guys.
why I mentioned.
I didn't make up many guys. You brought up
I,
many
Okay, you
guys.
well,
mentioned, you said everybody a
well,
God. You said everybody a God, so that's when
No,
I.
no, no, no. No, I said if we think that we are God,
So that's
then
when I said,
I said if I didn't say that we are. If we think that we God, then that means everybody is a God. Since that essentially means that we're
well, within us,
all
yeah,
one.
yeah,
If we're
within us,
God, huh?
we're like we can believe we're our own God. Just like I was telling my
Yeah.
co-host that like her kid look up to her. Her kid praise her. And I'm pretty sure they praise each other and all that to a point where like I believe the child would think the mother is a god. I would believe like a lot of people that like look up to certain stuff that she's doing and she's like God like.
I mean, I, I doubt that seriously that the child is thinking anything like that. But if so, they're probably teaching the child wrong. I'm only going off Christianity, and because
But
I
look, we're
saw,
looking at let's look at the
but
meaning more than the word itself. We need to look at the meaning itself. As in
but
like
in order but in
yeah.
order to do that though, in order to do that, that is God though. In order we're going well, so you're going off a God tier and not God anymore because God, you don't believe in the Bible, but you believe in God. That's the biblical God because you're still going to the Bible to look up stuff when need to or when you think you have to. So you can't believe in one without the other.
who you speaking on? Who don't believe in? I mean,
No, no, no.
not me.
I'm not saying you. You already said you believe in God,
Oh,
but you
okay.
also said you had. But you also said you have a relationship, and
Yeah, I said I don't
and
have a religion. I have a relationship. I don't do religion.
okay, but that's religion.
That's not religion. That's not religion. Nope.
Okay, so do you go to the Bible for any of your
That ain't
stuff?
got nothing even about if
Yes,
you.
it does because you
No,
can't
it
believe
do
in
not. Even
you
God
can't have a
didn't care for
relationship
religion. Even God didn't care for religion. That wasn't even. That was the other people.
and
But
you
they
and
ain't
you
had to
got
do with
you
Jesus. When
got
Jesus
what
came
you
back, they ain't had nothing to do with him.
but
Religion
you
ain't
got
had
what you
nothing to do
got
with
you got what you just got finished saying from that
religion. Don't
book.
have
From
nothing
that
to do
book.
with that. What
You
was
got what
our
you just
purpose?
said
I have a
from that book.
I have
Did
a
you
question.
not?
I have a
But I
Did
question.
you
didn't
not
say
get
the
What
religion. No,
how would
no,
you
no.
a quick question.
You
Quick
so
question.
that
Quick
means you
question.
telling me the whole book is
A quick question.
no.
No,
Quick
I'm
question, Jay.
saying, did you get what you just got finished saying from that book, from the Bible?
About which
What you
part?
stated?
Which part?
All of that, all of what you just said. Did you get that
Everything I
from the
stated didn't come
Bible?
from the Bible, so you gotta be
I,
specific.
So I have
oh
a
my
question. I have a
goodness,
question.
bro.
I have a question. And I do have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Like how was you introduced to that book? Was it based off of a religion or was it based off of your spiritual like the spirituality?
You
Like
saying
would
from
you
the book?
like
Well, of course I
did you get
had
that
to.
book? Did you get that book from a Christian background, or did you get that book from just your basic instincts?
It's more than one book. The Bible didn't just, it was before it was the Bible, it was the Ethiopian made the book and it wasn't called Bible.
Okay,
So
but
it's many books that been unchanged, different things, but where I get it from, of course I had to learn from when I was young as a child, but I didn't learn it then. I didn't just read. That was like the King James version. I never understood that. I never understood it at the time until I got older in my private, like when I got older or whatever. And when I had a lot of time to sit down and read, and I started reading like other versions of the Bible to understand like the words. And I read the Hebrew and I read the Greek
so
definitions.
Would you ever practice Catholicism?
And you said, have I ever practiced?
Would you ever practice?
Would I? No, I'm not. No.
What?
Which you saying like me trying to become a pastor or something?
No, I'm saying in general, like there's different type of ways you can practice whatever you believe in, basically. So the reason why I asked, how did you get introduced to that book? Because you say you're not from a religion, but you base your lifestyle off of that religion itself. Like you just don't want to claim the religion, huh?
No, no. You got to think about it. Religion is like Baptist, Catholic, different. It's
Right.
Different people. It's different. I'm not in a religion. If I'm in a religion, I'll be with a group of people. That's a religion. I'm not in a religion. I don't have a cult. I don't have none of that.
You describe the definition of religion. Yeah,
No,
a group of people believe it. Yeah, I'm just
gonna find that verse about religion.
A group of people. A group of people. A group of people believing in the same thing.
You're basing the whole Bible. The whole Bible is not saying this religion. When God
Jesus,
he said something totally different.
But
we
that
were
ain't
supposed to go out. We were supposed to help the basically like the needed, the people who's sick, the like the wives who lost husbands, different things. We're supposed to be out there helping people. That's the religion. Like that's what he considered. The religion that they in, it's like a tradition. That's not what they
okay,
wanted.
but look, everything. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, but everything that you just said, all those different religions you just named, and even some of the ones that you claim that you've read and or got to where you are to be in this relationship with God, every last one of them are believing in the same God. Every last one of them are talking about the same God.
Everybody don't believe the same. No, you can't say
it don't make the difference whether they believe the same or not. They're all talking about the same God.
Like the Bible,
and that's
the Bible got different words in there, like different Bibles. Like everybody's different.
It don't make a difference. That really don't make a difference because they're all talking about the same God. Hey, the people up the street are up there doing a good thing for the community, and the people down the street are doing a good thing for the community. The people around the corner are doing a good thing for the community, all at the same time. You're just doing it differently, but they all are about the community, and that's all these other religions, especially the branches of Christianity, which you just named a share of them.
I can't say all about just community. Not really.
No, girl, woman, person. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name?
I see churches everywhere. But don't mean they're about their community.
But that you're taking you're taking just that out of what I just said. Out of all the things I just said, out of everything I just said,
the whole Bible, the entire Bible.
It was a metaphor. It was an analogy. The community thing was an analogy. Those people are down the street, up the street, around the corner. Those are the different religions that you were naming, and they're all about the community, which is God.
So you believe in God?
That's all I was saying. That was basically that's all the example I was saying.
You believe in God, huh? Because you keep talking about God.
No, one more time.
I'm saying because you said just listen to yourself. It almost sounds like you believe that there is a God.
No, What it is that when we talk about God, we talk in the aspect that God is an actual thing. That's just all religion conversation. That's all religion conversation. No matter who believes in it, it can be atheists, a group of atheists talking about God. It'll still be in the aspect of God existing, whether we choose to believe that he exists or not. That's just how the conversation is or will be. But I've already made it known that I don't believe the existence of the biblical God, let alone a God. I think it's a waste of life to take time out of your life to do things that your imagination is telling you to do.
So you don't have any time. Oh, you believe that? Now hold on. When you mention imagination, my
Right? Yeah,
imagination have gotten me pretty far.
yeah,
My imagination have brought me out of dark times.
yeah. And it was
Facts, me
all
too.
Everything was
I
all
agree.
void
I,
in the
I agree
beginning.
with that. I definitely agree with that. I
yeah.
had to have an
I know
imagination to like
imagination
figure
is
out
a
where I wanted to go in
extremely
life.
dope thing. Imagination is an
I love an
extremely dope thing to
imagination. If you
have.
ain't got no
But
imagination, like I can't deal with you.
absolutely,
You know what I'm saying?
abs-
Like you gotta have
absolutely,
imagination. You gotta have a vision. You like how do we
absolutely. You can't manifest without imagination. So absolutely. That's why I stated earlier, imagination is your everything. Is your everything. Your livelihood is your imagination. But I still don't believe in my imagination to the degree of certainty because I'm aware that my imagination is just that, an imagination. We
so
Can you
call it
turn your
delusion.
imagination into reality though? Whatever
Absolutely
you
not.
imagine, can you turn it into reality?
You absolutely cannot.
You
What you're
can't.
doing, you absolutely cannot turn your imagination into reality. You will have to put in the work to build that imaginative thing.
Right.
You're
So
not
that
you see, but that's
basically
not
imagination will give you ideas to turn it into reality. That's what I'm saying. Like
okay.
me
Okay,
when
but
I
that's
like
not
when I wanted to be
manifestation though.
like here's the thing. Here's the thing. When I looked into Huey Newton or whatever, I wanted to be a Black Panther. I wanted to be an activist. So I had
Hmm.
started imagining me being an activist. You know what I am now? I'm an activist. I'm doing stuff in the community, whatever. I'm speaking to people. So you're saying
But you're
imagination
not. That's
can't
not
be
an
reality.
imagination. No, see, you didn't do an imagination. You
That's
thought
definitely an
about
imagination.
no.
I was imagining
You
me being
you
something in the
thought.
future.
Yeah, you thought about it. You imagined it. You imagined it, and you did it. Once you
That's
start
the
doing
whole
it,
purpose.
once you start doing it, it is no longer an imagination no more.
That's
It's
the
just
point.
now you having
But when I
having
wasn't doing
thoughts.
but when I wasn't doing it, it was my imagination. That's all
Yes,
I'm saying.
yes, but that's not manifesting anything. You're thinking about what it is that you want to do in the future, and
It
now
started
you're
giving me
setting
ideas.
out. And now yeah, your idea is still not manifesting you being an activist. You already you. Now you're
See,
just doing activist stuff now.
I'll tell you this. Like some of the stuff that you say, I totally agree with. Some of the stuff that she says, I totally agree with. But
And
when
that's
you
what a
talk about
religion
imagination,
is.
when you talk about imagination,
That's what a belief
like
is.
when I was a child, I was thinking I wanted to be an actor. I was imagining
Hmm.
me like chanting and like walking with black men or whatever, doing a bunch of stuff basically. So when I grew
Hmm.
up, that imagination already gave me ideas to a point where I am actually doing it. So the imagination gave me certain plans. So when I actually was capable of doing it, it happened. But
And you
it took
still
that
didn't. Oh,
imagination. It took the imagination or whatever to make it to that reality. We're not talking about
okay.
Santa Claus and
That
dragons and all that. We're actually talking about future. Like we can imagine our future. We can
yes,
imagine
and I,
being
I
rich.
agree with you. I agree with you. I absolutely agree with everything you just saying, but it's not manifesting anything. It's not magical.
You
You're
said,
just writing.
well, all I'm saying, you said is imagination can't be reality.
No, okay. To a degree, again, to a degree, we keep coming from a place of certainty. We keep coming from a place of magic. We keep coming, and that's part of the
Imagination
delusion
don't
that
have
I
to be
think
magic.
that we're in. And that's what you say
Imagination don't
that
have to be magic.
imagination is absolutely uh magic or something like that because again you are you're not manifesting this imaginative thing. You're doing things to create this imaginative thing. If it was a manifestation or if it was magical, it would just be. Once the thought comes in your head, and you use whatever the powers of intention is, which is, I think that's a loophole, but whatever the powers of intention is, boom, that will be manifestation. That will be your your imagination actually being life, not you actually putting in the work to make it a thing.
So, do you manifest anything?
I mean, look, I can't say that I have, but we talk about it on an often basis. You get people who teaching you how to, hey, here's the steps of manifestation. Here's how you do manifestation. And you do this, you do these, and you do that, and you blah, boom. And my thoughts about all of that things of sort is, okay, it should be a thing. Like it should be here. After I do these steps, it should be. It shouldn't. It should be. It should be literally. Let there be light. Wow, that's manifestation.
About me, I
Not,
didn't even know that.
not, not me going through the stages on creating the light to make it. Let there be
So what?
light.
So now I'm curious. What do you think about? I'm not trying to get like personal with your thought process or whatever. But what do you think about? Because most of our thought process is manifestation itself.
I mean, hey, if that's what you believe,
Like
it's what it is.
if you wake up, like is your thought process gotta go to work? I'm working, I'm working, I'm working. So
If
like
I if I gotta get up
if
and
your
work
thought
that day,
process is
yeah,
just like that or whatever, you're not thinking about the future, you're not thinking about the past, you're not thinking about anything.
yeah, I'm
Then where
always
that
thinking about all of that.
was that?
I'm always thinking about all of that.
If you're thinking about the future, you're also manifesting.
I mean, okay, if that's what you and people want to call it, okay.
That's the
I'm
yeah.
cool with that. But again, my perspective on manifestation is like I stated, let there be light. Boom. Y'all the ones said, or not
That's
y'all,
actually more
you.
magic. That's actually more magic than anything. If you just
Then God
if
is
you just
magic
flick the
then.
light on by a snap, then that's magic. But we're
No,
talking
no,
about
no, not
like you're
flipping the
putting
light
stuff.
on. Let there be light. That's
Oh,
not flipping the light. Flipping the light is what we have today in modern time, a switch. Let there be light, and boom, that's manifestation to me. And you
so
said that we're gods.
what makes your like meaning of manifestation correct compared to other people's meaning of manifestation?
I'm not trying to prove correction. I'm not trying to prove points. So I'm not saying what makes mine is correct. I'm just telling you what I think about
So
the
if that's the case, then
situation.
what makes ours incorrect?
I never said y'all was incorrect either. I've been telling y'all my thoughts
So
about what
like,
y'all been
but
saying.
even when I brought up, even when we brought up imagination, you said no,
Hmm.
that's magic. That's not such and such and all that. So you're saying
I
that
wasn't
you're not
calling
like it's
saying
not
no.
correct. You're saying that it's not correct, but you're also saying that stuff isn't what you believe in. Like you're also
No,
saying it's not correct, whatever. But now you're saying that you're
no,
not saying it,
you're
but you're
perceiving it
exactly
to be
saying
incorrect.
it's not correct.
You're perceiving it to be incorrect.
No,
I'm just stating.
you legit just said it's not correct. Like
I never said. I
you're
never
not
said
you're
anything is.
you
I never
said
said anything
you
is
said
correct. And
imagination
if
is
I
magic.
did, and if I did say it, my bad. I apologize.
No, that's
I'm
all
not.
good.
No, 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 no,
I'm
no, no.
actually
I'm
I'm
just
actually
trying to.
enjoying the conversation. I mean, I rock with the conversation. It is what that's why I said I love disagreeing and I love agreeing. But we have to understand when you said that you disagree and then you're saying I'm not saying I disagree, then that kind of put a loophole in the conversation because now we're confused about where you're going.
No, no, it's not
Yeah,
because
that's
I'm
no.
telling you where I'm
I'm
going.
saying personally. I'm saying personally.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
confused about where
personally,
you're going.
okay,
No, I'm saying
and
you
that's what I'm
saying
trying
one thing.
to.
You saying you disagree with one thing, and then you're saying I didn't say I disagree. Now I'm confused on where you're going simply because you're putting two answers in one sentence. So now I'm trying to figure out where's your mindset because I'm trying to have a conversation with you, and now you're just going all over the place. If you think about
Well, if I am, that's not my intentions to be going all over the place. I thought I was being clear when I stated that if I could have sworn I used the word if, but if I didn't, my bad for all the miscommunications. Again, I'm not trying to prove I'm right. I ain't trying to prove you wrong. I just got my thoughts and my perspectives on my thoughts and
I do
my
have a
thoughts
question.
about what it is that the two youths are saying. And that's all. And my thoughts on manifestation is on that. It's not manifestation if it's not instantaneously. It's
You
not
just said it
manifest.
again. You said you just said it's not
I did.
manifestation, but
Yes, I
that's based
just
off of
said
your
yes. Are you hearing
belief.
what I'm saying? Yes,
Yeah,
I
that's all.
said that. My thoughts
Mm.
are it's not. That's what I said. My thoughts, my perspective is it's not. I'm not saying it's not.
I have a question. How did you grow up? Did you grow up not going to church or not believing? I mean, were you taught the Bible or
Yeah,
anything? I'm just asking a question about
yeah.
your.
I grew up like probably most of everybody is. We went to church sometimes by while being told we are this.
You said by being told you are what?
While being told you are this, we are this. Like we went to church sometimes while being told we are Christians. And I think that's a lot of us.
This is kind of
Yeah.
off topic, but like, am I? 'Cause I know the last podcast we did. Like, I'm not saying you, brother, but the last
Mhm.
podcast me and you did, like, it was like an echo. Is it the same thing right now? Because like last time you couldn't hear me.
I hear you.
You hear me better now, or was it like just like the other one? Because the other one was horrible. I
Oh,
mean,
this
I enjoyed the conversation, but it was just
yeah.
horrible.
I don't
Yeah.
hear
Okay,
anything bad.
okay. All right, I got you. I'm just my bad. I didn't mean to cut y'all off or whatever, but I just wanted to make sure that there's no echo going on.
Yeah. It probably be I probably had my headphones tucked up to the max. That's probably what you was hearing.
No. It was yesterday. Me and her like did a
Oh,
podcast,
okay,
and like
okay.
it was like a bad echo basically. Like she was
Yeah.
good, but my voice was horrible. But I didn't mean to cut y'all off. I know y'all was going in,
Yeah.
and I just
But,
kind of messed everything up.
yeah.
So can
Yeah.
I mention something? I had to go look up something real quick in the Bible, which I know you probably don't want to hear the Bible, but I'm gonna read some about the religious leaders that was in the Bible when Jesus came down and he criticized them. So that's what I'm speaking of. When you mention like religion, like Jesus wasn't even really with all that. And I don't even call him Jesus no more. I call him Yah. But he wasn't with all that
That's
anymore.
comical too.
You said that's comical. Let
Yeah, too.
me. Okay, I'm gonna bring Matthew
Uh,
23rd chapter real quick. A verse from about two verses from him. It said,
Hmm.
"Then Jesus said to the crowds and to his disciples, the teachers of religious law and the Pharisees are the official interpreters of the law of Moses." I know you just mentioned Moses earlier. Okay, so practice and obey whatever they tell you, but don't follow their example, for they don't practice what they teach. They crush people with unbearable religious demands and never lift a finger to ease the burden. So it's like that they was too religious. Like they was based on uh tradition of what they do, and they're not looking in their own eyes and seeing that they're doing wrong. So I mean, so when you tell me about religion, me being religion, I don't base myself in that type of religion.
Okay, but you still follow it though.
That's n- it's
You
it's,
know,
it's,
you
it's
still
different.
follow it. That
I
don't
don't
make no
base
sense.
myself in a
But you
religion.
See,
still
but
follow
like,
it
and I
though.
do apologize. I do apologize, but I do agree with him. That like I do agree with him because like that's why I was asking you. Like, no disrespect to you, I apologize, but that's why I asked you where did you get the Bible from? Was it from a religious group or was it from just your own instinct? Because if you got it from a religious group, they will also teach you the way of that religion as well. This is why you don't want to go into any other study groups. Basically, this is why you don't want to go into other belief systems because you're so focused on that one and whatever it is. Because they introduce you to the Christian background, Now you can't get out of it. That's a form of religion right there.
You say you can't get out of it, so you
Yeah,
never been
like
in church.
say
So
if I
you
tell
never
you, say if I
been
tell
in.
you, say if I tell you I want to like go with you to talk to this voodoo priest and everything. Would you be skeptical of it?
You said, do I think there's a what?
Would you be skeptical of going to like a voodoo priest?
Heck
Because
yes.
you said there's multiple gods and everything, so you can like if you believe there's multiple gods, you can willingly go to other places and understand other people, right?
That's not something I would get myself into. I
That's what I'm.
wouldn't go there, and if they want to know, I would not.
Mhm.
That's because you follow a
Religion
Christian
told you
background. Because
to.
No, that's not only. Not, no, you can't say that. But I've seen things that other people who have dealt with them type of experiences. I've heard
Yeah.
bad things also from them. So maybe I don't have to experience it for myself. I seen them
So you
go
ain't
through it.
hearing
I
no
ain't got to
bad
go through it.
things.
That's
So
just like
you
I
ain't
see
hear about.
somebody do drugs. Do I? And I see what's going on. That don't mean I gotta go experience what they experience. No. Like I'm gonna take my belief off of that. I ain't gotta go jump off a bridge because I
Okay.
seen somebody else jump off a bridge. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna base my
That's
belief
well,
off
cool.
no,
of
That's
no
what
cool.
I
So
disrespect
believe
to
but
is
you
God.
so
logical.
you gonna so you gonna turn a blind eye to all the evils that God is doing?
You said I'm gonna turn a blind
And
eye.
you are
I
So
said, but no, no, going off what you're saying, you're turning a blind eye to all the evils that God is doing.
I'm not turning a blind eye to nothing.
but
You believe in
So
this
no
so
man.
what
disrespect,
evil?
You
no
believe
What
in
disrespect,
him.
evil you saying he doing now?
You
no,
believe
like,
in him.
but you actually are because you are like when we brought up the 2.8 billion people, you said, well, what about the other people that he didn't kill? Like, I mean, but that still doesn't change the
No,
fact that
I'm
he
saying though,
wiped
because
out.
you're not saying like y'all not putting it. Let me see. You're not breaking it down. What people
Okay, let
he
me go.
killed, how he killed
Okay,
it,
here
what
goes some
happened,
evil
like
for
what
you.
scenario, what anybody
Here
just
go.
like okay, somebody get shot. Okay, you might shoot somebody, and people gonna be at you because you shot that person, but you ain't explain why they shot him. That person probably was trying to rob him, trying to kill him, and you ain't gonna get me. I'm just saying,
Okay,
like, so break it
true,
down. Like, if you gonna
true.
say
Okay,
God did this, break it down.
okay. I mean, it's right there in the very beginning of the Bible,
Break it down then.
Genesis. It's all in Genesis. It's all we got we got Adam and Eve being kicked out the garden unjustly, all because God lied to them. We got Moses. I mean,
So
we
what
got
makes you
Abraham
think it was unjustly? I'm just saying, if you don't
because he
believe
didn't
in
bow. He didn't.
God, how you believe it's unjustly?
Oh my goodness!
I'm
Because
just saying.
I have to read about the religion in order for me to not like it properly. That's how
No
you
disrespect,
properly believe in
no
something.
disrespect, no disrespect to this. But me and her were just talking about that, and I said the same exact thing. Why did God say that we were gonna die and suffer and all that, knowing that it was a lie? So I agree with you. That's why I didn't want to cut you off, but I definitely agree with
Yeah,
that. We actually talked about that the other day.
but yeah. So going in more in depth with that is the whole thing of here's the all the evils that the Bible it started. The evil, the hatred towards women started way before the Adam and Eve thing, but the Bible version started with the whole snake, where people for some reason think that the snake told Eve to go get whatever that was on the tree, rather than it stating word for word, if you choose to go to the tree. And for some reason, that right there sparks the whole controversy of women are evil and where all the evil towards women come from. We can go on to later on in the book where Abraham um, is basically the first pimp in existence. One of because he's pimping out his wife, who happens to be his sister, to Pharaoh or to these different cities because he don't want to die.
That
We
don't answer my
also,
question though.
I'm,
That
I'm
didn't
getting
answer
there.
my question.
I'm getting there because you are a
Okay.
follower of this, and these people are a follower of that as well in the Bible. So we could take it later on when women get raped, and then their punishment for being raped is to marry the rapist, and all of the adultery is only put on women. Men are not allowed or are permitted to commit adultery all the way up into whatever. So those are just some forms of the followers who follow God doing the evil stuff,
So let
envy,
me ask a
the
question.
hatred. Oh, wait.
Go
The
ahead.
hatred towards women is part of there. And as far as what God is doing, to answer your question, that the things that God is doing, God is literally orchestrating all of that to happen. God is orchestrating the evils of raiding the camps that he sent Moses to do on multiple occasions, to raid the camps, take the women and children, do with them as you please, stated in the Bible. He's also the orchestrator of all the bloodshed that's happening in the Bible, including Old and New Testament. The devil, or what we consider the devil, is extremely scarce in the Bible. You rarely hear about this cat in there. And so, I mean, I could go on some more. Those
That still didn't
angels
break
are
down the million
monsters.
and some people that you
Ezekiel
speaking
explained
of,
how.
but all
Oh, I'm
right.
sorry. I'm sorry.
That,
Go ahead.
no, that still not telling me about the million of people that y'all said was killed. But my question is though, so now the men that do what they do, so God just orchestrate all the men that still doing what they want to do to women, or all the violent crimes that's going on. So God doing everything right now.
Yep. I'll say he's orchestrating because he's allowing.
But you just
He's
said you don't believe in God. I
Yeah, I
believe
don't.
in God.
I couldn't even answer that because I don't believe in God. I
oh
couldn't
my
answer that.
goodness.
I just
But
proved my
again,
case. Case
like I
closed.
said,
Case closed.
I mean, you could say you could take this however you want to take it and try to flip it this how most people do, just like you're doing. I can't expect anything different. I just stated prior that when it comes to conversation of religion, the aspect of God being in existence is there. You cannot talk about God as if he's not a thing, because in order for things to get progressed in the conversation of religion, you have to go on the aspect of God is an actual thing, or else why would you believe in the conversation that we're having? Why would you continue to try to do what you're doing now and try to flip the script to saying that, oh, so you do believe in God?
I didn't
You,
flip no
you,
script. I just
you,
asked a question. I said, so do you believe God is doing all this stuff, whatever? And you said, well, yes. So
and
I didn't flip the
again,
script.
going off the context of the conversation, yes, I can't say no, he's not, because just because I don't believe that he exists, I can't say that, because again, we're talking about the things that people who believe in this entity does.
But I ain't say
We're
what
not
people believe.
talking
I
about
asked
the
what
people
you
who
believe.
we're not talking about the people who don't believe in this entity, because we're not we're talking about the people who do believe in this entity. So you have to talk about it in the aspect of this entity is a thing, or else it won't be a conversation. It
You don't have to
absolutely won't be a
agree.
conversation.
You didn't
I
have to
didn't say I
agree.
do agree. I already told you I don't believe. So I'm not agreeing. I'm just going off to answer your question on the hypotheticalness. The fact that I already told you I don't believe is automatically hypothetical, because we're having a conversation about it. It's hypothetical by default. So since we're talking about God, then yes, he's the one that's orchestrating all of this that to go on. You still haven't
So,
given me a reason on why you believe in God outside of it being a feeling. Everything you said is a feeling on why you believe.
It's
You
a
didn't give no
feeling.
concrete. You didn't give anything
My life
concrete.
is the answer. My life is the answer. My
Sure,
life is the
yes,
answer.
sure.
My life is the answer. Maybe you need to go back and look. I mean, maybe once you log off, you need to go look at my page, look, and then you will see
Oh my
what I
goodness.
mean by God is my answer. God is
Okay,
definitely my answer, and I am proving that that He's real.
tangible,
so, so
tangible
here,
things, and you being happy does not mean God is an actual thing.
Very real. I ain't
It's
say it
just
was a
you.
thing. You said thing. I ain't say a
Oh
thing.
my goodness, woman,
So
what the heck? Person, my bad. Person, what the heck? I didn't say it was a thing. You don't have to
You said it.
stuff like
I will say,
stuff like that, and conversation like that is the reason why um conversation can't be held because you say things like that. I didn't say it was a thing. I'm not saying that you are. I'm saying the thing. I'm saying that stuff. These are my perspectives again. Man,
so
again, your feelings proves absolutely zero in the existence of anything outside of you doing,
so
outside of you being here right now. That proves absolutely nothing.
I
Your
would say,
feelings.
I would say, like the journey that you've been through and the journey that I've been through is similar. But we, like, you started believing more into God. I started believing less in God, and we both been improving our life. Like, so what makes your belief in God more more understandable than my disbelief of God when we're both improving in the same time, basically.
You said what makes
Please.
mine what?
Like basically, like we both had the same journey. Like we've been through
Yeah.
a bunch of sicknesses and all that. We both lost weight. We both are vegans. We're both like big on health. We carry ourselves very well. But you started believing more in God. I started believing less in God. So what makes your belief more important than mine or my
I never.
disbelief?
Now with that, I never said my belief is more important than your belief.
Oh my
What
goodness.
makes yours more realistic? I
Answer
mean,
the
I'm sorry. I
question.
apologize. I apologize.
What the heck?
Okay.
Maybe I said it incorrect.
Yeah.
What makes yours more
Your
realistic than mine?
implication of the things that you're saying is what
That's not
he's
what he said. I
saying.
want him to explain
I
it.
didn't
No,
say
I'm
that's
saying
what he's
what
saying,
makes
but I'm saying your
give me
implications on the things that you're saying. Your
give me out.
Oh,
Give me
okay.
out. What
implications. My
all I'm saying is
goodness.
Okay.
what makes yours like
When you coming at me.
what makes yours more
Jeez.
realistic than my disbelief. If we both been
What
through the
makes
same
okay? You
thing.
said what makes mine more realistic than yours?
Yeah, like as in my disbelief and my understanding of who I truly am. What makes that less realistic than your belief in God?
I believe that whatever you believe in, that's real in your reality. What I believe in is real in my reality.
So you have no answer for nothing.
No, that was
I
an
mean, that
answer.
could be
That was my answer.
that could be her answer, but I
That's
mean,
my
I mean,
answer.
no, you gave a reply,
I
yes.
gave an answer.
And yes,
That's my
that's
answer.
what answer means, a reply. But you're still not saying anything about what it is. Like, cause
He didn't. That's
the
not what he
Pharaoh.
just asked me. That's
Here's
not the
something for
question he
you.
asked me.
Here's something for you. The Pharaoh and everybody else in the Bible actually did believe in the existence of God. But that still didn't stop the Pharaoh for being the freaking Pharaoh. And that didn't stop God. That didn't stop God for taking, I mean, this is far fetched here, but that didn't stop God for taking the Pharaoh as a threat either. But the Pharaoh is the freaking Pharaoh, and he didn't believe in God, but practically everybody in the Bible believes in the existence of God, which is why Jesus was getting tormented the way he was getting tormented. So what you're saying is again, you have no reply other than, hey, you believe what you believe, essentially. Yes, those wasn't the words you said. You don't have to come back and say I didn't say that, but
No,
I
I
said
was not. I was going to
essentially.
go back and repeat exactly what I said. My belief is my
so yeah,
belief. I believe
let
that
me
in
hear
my
let me
reality.
hear her sorry.
Just like he don't believe that no God, period. Like I said, that's his belief. I believe he believe whatever in his head. That's his belief. That's his word. That's your reality. This is my reality. We all live separate lives, and what
Mm.
may help him may not help me. What may help me may not help you. So I'm gonna stop what I believe in. I'm just saying I'm gonna stop what I believe in when it's doing me good. It's doing me great justice. Like and
But
then
when it
compare
wasn't,
myself, not knowing what the honest, what not knowing what the other part gonna mean to me. I wouldn't know.
So I have a question. I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Like okay, so God, right? Do you believe God is all good?
No.
So what's bad about God?
God is not just a God of he's a God of destruction too. So I've always said that. God don't play.
Okay, I can understand that basically. So like say with your journey. When you say God, like, cause like I know what you've been through and all that. I know like your journey and everything. Would you say God was the cause of your your destruction too?
My destruction.
Yeah, as in
I
like the
You
stuff
want
that
to
you've
know
been
what
going
I
through.
come to believe in some things? I feel like I also was the cause of some of my own destruction.
You was the cause of it,
From what I've been through and what I've done, I also
but
look
God,
at some of my
but
previous
God was the
sins.
solution though. Like you're saying, God is the solution.
You said
If you
he's
was
the
the
solution.
cause of your destruction or whatever, but God's the solution.
But at
Wouldn't
the
that kind
same
of?
time, I do believe, it for the good part, yes. I do believe that because it actually changed me for the better.
But you're blaming yourself for your destruction, but you're thanking God for your improvement.
It had to happen. Don't God work through us? I'm just saying he still worked through us, right? I'm just saying I said he worked through us. So how
Oh
can
my
God show
goodness.
himself if it wasn't really through me? So what meant for my bad actually turned out to be my good. I'm thankful that even though I'm not saying, oh, I like all the pain and the things that done happened. No, but I am grateful to have them experiences. I won't look down at the next person, probably like how I've had in the past, whatever, because of my experiences of what I've been through, what it did, it made me change. I'm a changed person. My illnesses and everything that I went through, it helped
How
create in
much,
me, a better version of me.
how much
Even
credit
for
do
my,
you give yourself? How much credit
huh?
do you give yourself for your journey? How much
I give
credit do you give
myself a
yourself?
lot of credit.
Like, do you give more credit to God or yourself?
I can't speak on. I don't know.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna say I
goodness.
don't know
What
who I
the
give more
heck?
credit to, but I really don't give my. I give myself enough credit. I feel, but at the same time, I got to give my more to the higher power, and that's what I would say.
That sounds like only thing I could think of hearing that is we hate living as a slave, but we'll volunteer our soul to be a slave. And that's what I get out of that. Well, what you just said. Um, yeah. Hey,
So, question. Okay, since you said we like to volunteer ourselves basically to be a slave,
yeah.
in which way I'm volunteer myself to be a slave?
The fact that you make the choice to want to believe,
So I
that's
make
you
myself.
volunteer. That's you volunteering your soul. First of all, we don't even know what a soul is, but yet here we are again going off literature to say what a soul is. We call it spirit too sometimes, but going off what we're choosing to lean towards more in belief, yeah, it's all want. Emphasis on want. All of it, 100% is want.
So
Even
question.
your experiences, want.
So even with the words that you're speaking, every word that come out your mouth, so you believe in everything you say. I'm saying you believe like everything real. Like how
No,
you
see,
know?
no,
Like
I again, here you go again. You
this
try to
wasn't even
say
our
things.
literature. This wasn't our language. No, I'm just saying because you know it. You know it all.
No, again, I didn't. I never said I knew it all. I never said that I know. Again, that's how you're choosing to want to perceive it. Want again, you're wanting to perceive it that way rather than it's kind of like the same thing that I say about why people fear believing in fear not believing more than actually believing because of what they were told about the entities growing up in life.
Where
Like,
did you learn the word fear from?
your people and your God.
You said
Your
by people
So,
you learn fear from
your
by
people. No,
people.
your people, meaning our peoples around us who we grew up around. That's where we learned the word fear from. We also learned it from God
So you
in the
didn't learn it in
beginning.
school either. You didn't learn
Oh
that
my
word in school.
goodness, person. We learned it. What difference
I
where
asked
we
the
learned
question.
it
Did you learn
from?
it in school? Did
Yes,
you
we learned
learn?
it
Did you learn it at
everywhere.
school? I'm
We
asking
learned
So,
it
questions.
but-
everywhere. So
okay,
the fact that you choosing to believe, okay, the the Bible states when and what God is saying. It states when he's doing something and it states when he's saying something. So you can't be confused on trying to come up with metaphors, which is why majority of people believe in what they believe in anyway. Metaphor that'll help them want to believe in the things that they're reading. But that being said, is that the book states when God is doing the evil deed. It even states when God is stating what he is about to do as part of this evil deed. But the fact that most believers say they have read the book, I don't think they barely looked at it outside the times where the pastor said, turn to this. But the fact that, let's say they did read the book, the fact that they're reading these words word for word, not taking nothing out, not getting what you want to get out of it, metaphors, just read the words exactly how they are written out. The fact that you're reading God doing these devilish things, you the human psyche won't allow you to even have a second thought about the things that you're reading because of what the things that you were told about this entity growing up. You grew up thinking that God is loving and merciful. So when you go off and read on your own, probably, then when you read that God is having goons slaughter villages because they great times 10 grandparents were told that they were going to get this area of earth, then you're making the choice to want to turn a blind eye and say, nah, that ain't what God is doing. But a metaphor says the reason why. Man, what the heck?
well,
You're making the
well,
choice to want to believe in the things that you're believing in.
I tell you this. I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but my phone is dying, so I might have to cut this down. But I tell you this though, I don't know where this conversation was going, but I enjoyed every minute of it, and I rock with the both of
As
y'all.
well as I.
I rock with the both of y'all. But I do have one more. Like, if y'all have any closing statements, if y'all want to shout out your podcast, because y'all both have a lot going on. Y'all have like, I want to look at your podcast too, brother. But do you have any? Do you have any closing statements and everything? I know like y'all can go on and on. And I'm enjoying it. I'm sorry. That's why I didn't want to cut y'all off. And I call God's people Goonies too. So that's why that's why I thought it was funny because like yeah. So anyway, if y'all have any closing statements, if y'all want to shout out y'all podcasts and y'all organizations, because I know my co-hosts have a bunch of organizations and a bunch of journeys that she got going on. That's amazing. So if y'all want to, just let me know. And I definitely want to build with the both of y'all. Of course, I'm gonna build with you later on and all that. So, but, uh, but
You
yeah,
can go
like if y'all
first.
have anything else going on, just let me know. And gotta cut this off.
No, I enjoyed this topic and this conversation, and it's nice to meet you. I don't even know your name. What's your name?
Donnie.
Oh, Donny. Okay, Donny.
uh, uh, yeah, it was dope. I like I said, out of all the conversations I have, religion is my favorite.
Religion, your
But
favorite.
yeah, religion is my favorite because I think the cornerstone of the human psyche's psychological issues is based around religion. Is what I think.
Right.
All of our issues, no matter what we perceive them as today, I think it stems from a religious thing from when we were subconscious. But whatever talk is my show, check it out on whatever you listen to podcasts. I love that's my junk. That's my favorite, my baby
Right.
of all the podcasts. Challenge Our Beliefs is another one. I stick to religious on there, mainly Christianity, but all religious is welcome to talk about. I just know about Christianity more.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, and I would love for you to come on my show to more have a more in-depth conversation.
Right.
um, well, both of y'all really, but her for sure. What's your name? Coach Quila?
Keela. Keela.
Keela. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay,
Keela.
Coach Keela. Yeah, and if you have time in the future and
Hmm.
want is yeah, please hit me up.
Yeah, next
Time
time I
and
just
date.
won't be double teamed. Next time I'm gonna have somebody else
Whoa!
believe in what I
Wait, hold
believe.
on. Quick question.
Feel
Quick
me?
question. Quick
Because
question.
this was kind of like,
Was that
huh?
not? Was that not mutual? I was like,
Absolutely yes.
yeah, I was going on both of y'all. Like I was,
Believers just
Yeah, but you
always
was
think
on his
somebody
side a
after
little bit
them.
more. So you
no,
still got to get
no,
somebody to balance this thing out now this time.
no, no. I
This
was
time we
Oh,
going to get
matter of
somebody
fact.
to balance it
so
out,
but
all
but
right?
what difference? What difference does it make
I'm
that
just saying,
anybody
we
lean
still going to get
towards?
somebody to
And that's the
balance
thing.
it out.
Lean
And,
towards.
that's the thing, though. I agree with that. Like if you know, like if you have knowledge on something, you could be attacked by 17 people. If you know what you know and you have the research, go for it. This is
I'm
what
good. I mean, I'm not complaining about this one. I said the next time
that's what I said. I enjoyed it.
I
That's
agree to having just like two people who don't believe in God, I have two people who do believe in God.
You know what's comical about that?
What?
And if you could, the extra most comical thing out of this whole entire conversation is what you said just now. You got God.
I
That's
do.
all you really need.
And I was good through the whole thing. I
That's
laughed through
all
the
you need. You
whole
don't need
entire.
nobody. You don't need
You
nobody
right.
else.
You
You
right.
got
I didn't.
God.
That's why I said the next time. You right. I didn't need nobody. I handled it well by myself.
all right. So y'all finish shouting out y'all podcasts and
Yes,
organizations
thank
and
I
you.
all
I
would
that.
just say
appreciate you.
So I
check me out
appreciate
on
you guys too.
Facebook. My name is Shakila SHAQUILA. Germany like the country, GERMANY. And once you see my page, I share all my business and different things.
And I was calling you Shaquilla that whole time. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's Shakila. No matter
Yeah,
what it looked like,
yeah.
it's perceived differently. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
that's what's
Well,
up.
we're gonna because we have something later on health, right? We're still doing that.
Yes, we doing that when let me
Okay.
know. All right.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
you. Well, I'm still on.